Hey mama, I'm Ashley and this is the Maverick Mompreneur Podcast, where you're free and encouraged to own your desire to create and scale an impactful, discoverable online brand and business in the midst of motherhood. A business that's aligned with your mission, lifestyle desires, personality, and zone of genius without wasting your time on the hustle and grind hamster wheel that is social media. Can I get an amen? Sis, you are a maverick, an original, willing to stand out in your authenticity, defy expectations, and do life and business outside the box. In our world, if it's not aligned with who we are, it's a hard pass or a brave pivot. So if you're here for the powerful identity shift and transformation from boss babe or boss mom to aligned CEO, building a one-of-a-kind, influential, hustle-free online business that will produce long-term impact and multiple streams of income through SEO, affiliate marketing, and courses while building yourself in the process, well, pop in those AirPods, grab that cup of coffee or glass of wine, and let's get growing. Hello, and welcome back to another episode of the Maverick Mompreneur Podcast. I am so glad you're here. If you're a first-time listener, I'm Ashley. I started teaching in a 13-year career in special education, and now I'm a work-at-home single mompreneur teaching other women how to build and monetize authentic personal brands online in any niche. Last week was actually spring break for my daughter. She's 7, almost 8 years old, and we actually went on a cruise, and I've never been on a cruise before. Prior to taking the cruise, I was a little bit skeptical of cruises. Number one, because I get extreme motion sickness, and so it was just never something that was on my bucket list or in consideration. And then the other thing, it just never really appealed. However, I just have to tell you that I am a total convert. If you have a family, it is like the way to vacation, I swear to you. It was the best week ever for both Taylor and I, for totally different reasons, and some the same. We got really great quality time together, but also this was the first vacation where I was able to actually have a lot of relaxation time to do things that I wanted to do as well, because they have something called Camp Ocean where the kids get to go, and it's literally like the best summer camp they could ever possibly go to. I had to beg her to spend time with me because she wanted to be at this camp all the time with her new friends. And so during that time, I got to read on my balcony, looking at the ocean. I went to the gym sometimes twice a day. I love to work out, and I had gotten kind of off of my routine. And this week was really good for getting back to a really, really healthy place in all ways. I went to comedy shows, went and ate nice meals, took in some sun, watched movies on the big screen, laying on pool deck chairs. It was just awesome. And then when Taylor wasn't in camp, there was tons of things that we could do together too. They had a Build-A-Bear workshop that she was really into. We did a couple of different dance parties. I think my favorite highlight was the 80s dance party night. I didn't think that Taylor would be super into that. Taylor's my daughter, by the way, if you're new, but she totally was. And we improvised some 80s outfits, and she just danced her little behind off. It was the cutest thing ever. She's a total extrovert. I'm a total introvert, and she really brings it out in me. And so we had a really fun time just dancing. She was up on the Jumbotron. I posted a story of it on Instagram. It was so cute. She was just, oh my gosh. So anyway, if you have a family or you have a child and a cruise is something that you've never thought about, definitely think about it. I feel like an infomercial for Carnival. This is not sponsored, but there really is something for everyone, and it gives everyone in the family a chance to enjoy, which if you know, a lot of times on vacations as parents, it's not really a vacation. It's more of traveling with your child versus a vacation. So this I would definitely recommend. It was awesome. I will say on the motion sickness front, the first day to day and a half were rough. The water was actually more rough than I guess is typical, but still we were dying. We did have motion sickness patches that we put behind our ears, and then we took bromine. I'm not sure how you pronounce it, but it's less drowsy than Dramamine. And by the end of the second day, both Taylor and I, we were fine. And in fact, The rest of the time, we were completely not affected, even on the plane ride back from Long Beach, California, and we live up in Northern California, so we took a quick flight back up. That flight was super turbulent, and I did not get motion sickness at all, so I think it kind of temporarily cured my motion sickness and inner ear. We'll see. What you're probably interested in is what was the takeaway or the takeaways that came up during the cruise, because if you have ever taken even a few days solidly off of work, especially as solopreneurs, entrepreneurs, we have these crazy, never-ending to-do lists. We continue adding to them, and sometimes taking a step away helps you get clarity about what you actually need to prioritize, and it gives you fresh ideas. And oh my gosh, I have so many. I promise I eventually will get into the content, but I have to share with you on the last night of the cruise. So I took the entire week off of actively working. So I'll share more about what I have in place to be able to make that happen, because honestly, I couldn't have done that even a couple of years ago, and it felt really weird to leave my laptop behind. I've never done that, but I also knew that on a cruise, you're not going to have the same Wi-Fi capacity in the middle of the ocean most of the time that you would normally. And so that was just not something that I was going to mess with. And I'm so glad I did. Highly recommend even a few days, 1 day, 2 days, 3 days of just intentionally setting things up for yourself so that you do not have to work, and just focusing on your family, focusing on taking care of yourself, focusing on just doing the things that make you feel the most healthy. You're going to come back from those days, whether you're on a cruise or whether you're just in your backyard sitting in a chair soaking in some vitamin D for 10 minutes of the day and then hanging out indoors watching movies. I don't care what you do, but just being disconnected, something about that, and I'm going to research this and I will report back, something about that really does help to generate ideas. So for the entire week of the cruise, this was like a Saturday to Saturday cruise. So the entire time I did not think about work other than what I said I was going to do was to share things that I felt like sharing. So in my stories, I was just sharing views, funny little things with Taylor and I, but nothing really strategic or anything like that. And I tried my best to, when I would think about work, kind of shut it down, push it to the back, just say, okay, whatever idea that was going to come up, I'll address it later on. The last night, I could not sleep. I was up until 3:30. I would try to fall back asleep, and then all of these ideas would flood into my mind, and they were good ideas too. And so I would get up, I would write in my phone notes, all right, I think that's it. I think that's all. I'm gonna go to sleep. Sure enough, I get another download, get up, write in my phone notes, and I literally in that few hours downloading and writing and downloading and writing, I needed that mental space. I needed that downtime. I needed to get back to myself. I needed to de-stress and be at my best. You may have listened to my episode, The Better You Feel, the More Money You Make. And I know that's kind of a cliche thing, but there is so much truth to that. Before I left, I was so stressed out, to be honest. I was going through some stuff. Life was really lifing, and I just needed to get out of my head to a place where I had a clear mind. Oh, before I forget to mention this, the other important piece to taking this break and what I wanted to share with you is that I didn't drink any alcohol. Number one, I feel like that exacerbates motion sickness most likely. But number two, I just wanted to have a clear mind the entire time. I wanted to be present. I wanted to feel the feels, think the thoughts, spend the time, and not have anything numbing that out or masking it. And more to come on that, but it was the best thing I could have done. And I really think that that is how so many different ideas came through, because I was just a clear channel for that to happen. I had my full wits about me the whole time. But anyway, I'm sharing all of this because I always wonder if there's just some little random nugget that I share that might be helpful or encouraging or something that makes you think. And so I'm just sharing things that come to mind that were impactful for me. Okay, so how was it that I took an entire week off from actively working my business, but still generating income while I was disconnected, enjoying those moments and that downtime with my daughter, which is what we're going to get into for this episode. If you enjoy a little bit more of the personal updates and anecdotes and takeaways, let me know. Send me a DM over on Instagram or Facebook, Ashley R. Latimer, or you can leave a review here on the podcast and just let me know which episode you loved. If you enjoy the personal updates, I will continue to share those if so. I know I like to listen to podcasts where I feel like I can really get to know the host and how they think and all of that. I sometimes shy away from that because there is so much to share with you about building a personal brand. And so I tend to just dive right into teacher mode and not so much into getting to know you mode. And I wonder, oh, do they want to hear those things? But if you do, let your girl know. So what I'm going to share with you are some passive income hacks. I do have a sponsor for my podcast so that I can keep it ad-free, and the sponsors are my own products and offers. And so just to tell you right up front, if you're listening to this and you do not have a passive income system, so you don't have what I'm going to describe set up, I have a course to show you exactly how to do that. It's brand new, but not new to me. It's just based on now 8 years of experience. There's a link in the show notes, and that course will teach you how to set up an automated passive income sales system, how to drive traffic to it, how to even create digital products for any niche, just like I do. I use the same system whether I'm selling digital products or whether I'm selling coaching offers, memberships, group programs. It's all the same system, but there is a module on creating viable, winning digital products, which anyone can do. And that's a great way to create passive income. So that's in the show notes for you. The other thing is I have updated my personal brand toolkit. So if you don't have that freebie, you need it. It is incredible. And there's actually going to be a checklist that goes along with this episode 112, on the essentials that you need to have in place to have a passive income system. So go to elevatedwithashley.com/toolkit, or just click the link in the show notes. It's always there, and grab that toolkit. It's free. It's got so much good stuff in it. I just uploaded the new version, the most updated March 2024 version of the Boss Up Your Brand Bootcamp, which is incredible value for free for you. If you didn't participate live, or you did and you don't have the replays, it's there for you. There's a ton of value in there, and I just hope you love it because I love it. And I'm so excited to give that to you for free. All right. So the essentials that you need to have in place. Number one, quality content. For example, this podcast. So these episodes not only nurture, but also convert listeners into leads without my active involvement. So when someone finds my podcast, so for example, I just shared with you that I have a free lead magnet, right? Freebie, personal brand toolkit. And I also have a paid offer, which is a perfect next step for this piece of content. This piece of content being valuable in and of itself, but if someone wants to take a next step, they can. You might be listening to this in 2 years from now. Both of those things would still be in place 2 years from now. Okay. So if you found episode 212 in a year from now, and you happen to listen to this episode, that would still be in place. So quality content that addresses either a challenge or a desire for your target audience, for your ideal clients, provides some valuable information, provides something that is going to help someone to take a next step, and then provides a next step, a solution, a further step, hopefully being your own digital products, your own offers, your own affiliate offers, whatever it may be, as that final piece. So quality content that nurtures and converts your listeners, readers, followers into leads without your active involvement. That is part one, quality content. The second I already mentioned, that is a converting lead magnet. So this is going to be something that's hyper valuable to your target audience, to your ideal client, that would be enticing enough for someone to give you their name and email address so that they can get that valuable freebie/lead magnet and start an automated relationship building process without you being involved. For example, if you are to go into that personal brand toolkit, I can guarantee you're going to be blown away. Whether you have had it in the past or you have it now, you are going to clearly see that I've been walking my talk for years and years and years and leveling up in all the things, and I want to give you that for free. But on the back of that, piece number 3, you need to have a strategic email sequence. So it's not just the quality content driving to a lead magnet. On the back end of that, you need to have a strategic email sequence to nurture your new leads who have just given you their information and convert them into customers by delivering value and guiding them to your offers. And this is something that I have templates for within that course linked in the show notes for you. Okay, so we've got quality content, we've got converting lead magnets, we have strategic email sequences, and then number 4, automated sales funnels. All of those things I mentioned before are part of your sales funnel, but what you need to do is have everything from your free content to your lead magnet to your product offers, your checkout page, your thank you page. Each step is designed to smoothly transition someone who's interested in what you have to offer into a paying customer, and then a raving fan all on autopilot. You need to have that in order to make passive income. This is how I was able to take an entire week off and be out in the middle of the ocean with very spotty Wi-Fi and continue to bring in income. Like, not much changed at all. I'll tell you what I had set up to automatically post and things like that, but a lot of this is just due to having these sales funnels for lots of different offers. And then last but not least, the fifth component that you need to have in place is search engine optimized platforms. And this is more of that next level strategy, something to add on after you've built out your funnels and after you have really established yourself on one particular platform, utilizing search engine optimization or SEO on platforms like Pinterest, a WordPress.org website, even YouTube. That's going to ensure that your content continues to draw in traffic and leads over time through search engines. So when someone Googles that pressing problem that they have or that desire that they have, you want your content to pop up, your quality content. Circling back to number one, that's a huge piece of passive income. For me, Pinterest is massive in that. And included in that course in the show notes, I have my Pinterest masterclass. So if that's not something that you have dipped your toe into or dove head on into, dove head on into, that's there for you. And that is a massively untapped traffic source for sales funnels in any niche. Those are the 5 essentials that are the backbone of any successful passive income strategy, regardless of which platform you are mainly using to create your quality content. They work together to make sure that your business doesn't just survive, but can even thrive when you're off the grid. Now, how did I prep for a week away? I'm going to tell you detail by detail. Unless you don't care, in that case, you got your 5. You can go get your checklist out of the toolkit and get started. How did I prep for a week away? Well, it was all about leveraging those essentials I just mentioned. For me, there's not much else I needed to do differently aside from making sure that I recorded my podcast episode for the week, edited that, made sure that I had all of my promotion assets created and scheduled. So my email, the blog post, podcast episode, the YouTube video that goes off of that. I created a couple different reels. One was an audiogram from that episode. So if you don't know now, you know what I do is I take a theme for the week. So last week's theme, episode 111, was the anatomy of a viral digital product. And so that was what my main core content was all around. So I just scheduled all of that. But I also have almost all of my content that I put out is tied to a lead magnet and a nurture email sequence on the back end. What I've done over the years is build out this massive body of work that is systematized in this same way. Not only would my active scheduled content for last week drive new leads and sales, but all of my other content that I've created over time is set up this way. And so that's what I love teaching. It's exciting to be able to create content that you know is going to serve for years to come. And then, like I mentioned, while I was disconnected, I still chose different moments that I wanted to share with my audience. Yes, that's not exactly passive. The content creation portion of a passive income sales system is not going to be passive unless you are setting up an ad campaign. That is the only way to make this fully passive. I don't really count that part as work. That part's fun for me. I love connecting with my audience. I love connecting with my clients, my members, and sharing things that either I think will be helpful or that are exciting to me, allowing my community to see that behind the systems, behind the offers, there's a real person with genuine experiences and value to share. So I think that's pretty much it. I just wanted to share with you some of my takeaways from taking a week off, disconnected. Highly recommend cruises if you're looking for a family-friendly vacation where you can actually relax, and or taking a few days or even a week off and doing a staycation where you're unplugged. I can guarantee you that if you have a clear mind and you're just doing things that are enjoyable, that are reconnecting you to yourself, you're going to come up with ideas that are going to advance your business forward and serve your audience and all of those good things. And I can't wait to share over the coming months all that has come to my mind for you. And yeah, I just can't wait. And then lastly, if you don't yet have a passive income system built out, you're going to want to dive into my course, Passive Digital Product Sales Funnel, to learn how to implement these essentials and more. Like I mentioned before, the name Passive Digital Product Sales Funnel, delete digital product and insert whichever offer that you've ever seen me offer. It's the same exact system, but there is that specific component to creating a winning winning digital product, because that's as passive as it gets, right? If you set up a winning digital product, do the market research beforehand, that's completely passive. You're not coaching, you're not running a group program, you're not running a membership. It's completely passive. And so that is a fundamental I want you to have. But if you don't have a system to effectively sell your digital products, or a system to effectively sell any of your offers while you're off the grid 24/7, 365, definitely check that out. Until next time, remember to celebrate the journey, celebrate the small wins, celebrate all along the way, because it's always a journey. There's no destination that you're going to get to and then all of a sudden be enjoying your dream life and dream business if you haven't enjoyed it along the way. So remember to celebrate the journey. And until next time, cheers to your impact. Thank you so much for listening to this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you got a ton of value. And if you did, I would really appreciate if you would rate, subscribe, and review this podcast. It really helps push out the message that I have to share with other female entrepreneurs. Thank you so much.